it's your girl Honey. Today's topic is going to be Chiron in the 8th house. Now I haven't even finished doing Below the Horizon, but a lot of my subbies have been asking for me to hurry the fuck up and do 8th house, alright? So I'm going to just skip house 3 and house 6 for now, but I'm going to do that next and go straight over to the 8th house since you guys, requested it. So here it is, okay? Now, just to clarify, this is a deep-ass video, so I don't want anyone getting offended or feeling like this is a bit too intrusive. If you're sensitive, please just click the X, just leave it, alright? But also, bear in mind that you do not have to relate to this subject or this any scenario that I mention in this video. Everyone is an individual, everyone is different, but believe me, there's always going to be someone out there with this placement that may have experienced these things, alright? Disclaimer, got to put it out there sometimes, okay? So anyway, what is it? What is Chiron? Chiron is an asteroid. It's actually known as the wounded healer. And a lot of times, Chiron in any house is not very nice for anybody. But it's going to be an experience that we would have had or had to go under, or a childhood trauma. It would be, and in some cases, we have to deal with these same traumas as adults. But the good thing about this, about our Chiron, is that the whole purpose is, okay, we've got this pain, but now we're going to turn it into a healer and start healing others. It makes us feel better, it pays back our karmic debts, and also, it's, it just makes us feel better. So the 8th house is very significant to me as an individual because I have a heavy 8th house. My stellium is in the 8th house, so talking about these subjects to do with the 8th house is very important to me, it's of interest, okay? So, the 8th house is ruled by Scorpio, it's home to Pluto, and it's to do with other people's resources, other people's finances, sex, intimacy, the occult, anything surrounding, even secrets as well. I've got secrets. Having Chiron in your 8th house, as a child, you would have possibly had experienced someone significant dying to you, would have experienced a loss. You would have, oh my god, fireworks, that scared the shit out of me. It's Guy Fawkes night over here, so there's going to be fireworks happening. So anyway, this person would definitely have experienced a loss as a child. There would have been a disappointment towards someone for criticising them for having someone else's things. As a child, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but some kids kind of feel a bit nervous to play with other people's toys. There would have been that kind of vibe, like, I'm too scared to touch someone else's thing because I might get criticised for having it. There's going to be that type of vibe, which can definitely lead to, as an adult, like, I must have my own, I must have everything that I want to myself because then no one can criticise me for having this or for having that, because the fear is installed in them from a young age, right? It contributes to growing up and not wanting to borrow money from anyone, not wanting any help from anyone financially. It's, I want to do it on my own. It's this power, it's this determination to do absolutely everything on my own because it's the fear that's been installed in their heads. Another thing, being a child as well, this person might have experienced like out of realm kind of experiences, like ghosts or spirits in their homes, and these people are so, because it's all to do with your childhood, it molds you into who you are now. So as an adult, it can definitely have like a fear of the unknown. It's like a fear of, I've never seen another realm, I've never seen a ghost or a spirit, so I'm going to be afraid of it. On top of that, these people might have experienced, someone could have possibly put some black magic on them. That's a fear which can lead to, not going to like visit psychics or mediums in the future. Now, I don't believe it. It's all bullshit to me. That's the kind of attitude that an 8th house Chiron person could possibly have. Person with 8th house Chiron placement could possibly have experienced some, depending on whether you've got maybe Mars conjunct your Chiron in that house, you might have experienced some type of sexual trauma as a child, or it could lead you to be the actual abuser. It all just depends because, as a child, your views on sex would be very different to other people's as well. Other people would never know how you view sex because you keep that all, it's all going to be a secret, and also with the whole situation with secrets in that house, you're going to feel, as a child, you would have told someone something and they would have betrayed you and went and told everyone your business, and this is where it can definitely contribute to you not actually wanting to tell people your business anymore. So you keep a lot of things very, very secret. Having Chiron in your 8th house can definitely contribute to your sexual experience, like I said before, but it can slow down the process of you having sex with someone. It can turn, because it's all to do with trust issues, and it's the house of Scorpio, so trust and betrayal is a big thing for these people. You want to make sure that whoever you are intimate with, you want to trust them. You know, you don't want to put yourself out there and be completely vulnerable to anything happening, so you need to make sure that you trust them. So this person, even if Saturn is in there, that can contribute to slowing down the process of having sex, because Saturn slows things down. So, you know, you might take a long time to have sex, and this can obviously interfere with your relationships with people, because people don't always like to wait a long time, you know, don't want to wait around, but this could contribute to you taking your time and trusting people. Chiron in the 8th house people need to kind of be careful, because they are definitely not victim, but they are sensitive to like sleep paralysis. Is it paralysis? It's when you're sleeping on your back most of the time, and there's like a spirit on top of you that's choking you, you can't breathe. And most people tend to be like, start praying, or you know, saying Jesus, Jesus, Jesus bare times, and the spirit goes away. But I've heard of that like countless times. Also, sex demons, incubus and succubus. I've actually made a video, Firework, I made a video about that, because I've had that experience. These people need to be very, very sensitive, need to be very, very aware of dreams like that, and also be careful of people who are sexual vampires, like people who take your energy during sex. And that's the same thing in relation to the sex demons, and I have attached my video, right? But it can also be in human form as well. So you need to be very, very careful with who you're sleeping with, because you do not want to be transferring any negative energies like that at all. You don't want it. And I will also attach my video where I speak about sex as well, to do with transferring of energy. So bear that in mind, you know, if you are a Chiron 8th house person. Chiron the 8th house placement person, they may have experienced watching their family members as children growing up, as children seeing their family members argue a lot about inheritance, and that would have affected them heavy, you know, as kids. And it's crazy because, you know, I don't even have any kids, right? But if I did, I always think to myself, I don't want my kids to know anything negative that's going on, because it will affect them. I don't want them to feel like they're at fault here, or like you don't want that. But you can never always control what your kids hear, unfortunately. But something like this would affect them heavy in the future. And even if it can also lead to, you know, them, when it comes to their inheritance, they might have, you know, 3 brothers or sisters, and their parent passes, and their parents, you know, give their siblings most of, let's say, most of the money, and Chiron an 8th house person might not get the same amount as everyone else, or they may feel that what they've got compared to their siblings or family members that doesn't compare. You know, it's things like this, and it can definitely, it hurts Chiron 8th house people more than it would hurt maybe Chiron in the 5th house, for example. It all depends, which is crazy. So how do you turn all of that into a healer? These people do not always need to express, because they are prone to secrecy, okay? But when it comes to healing others, it's a lot of listening and a lot of helping through, for example, right, as my subbies will know, I've been through sexual assault myself, right? But I remember there was a time, it was like my anniversary last year, and I was just so down, I was so upset. And a friend of mine, is a good friend of mine now, and at the time, this guy just kept calling me. I said, I don't want to speak to you. He's like, what's the matter? What's up? I can see what's going on. And he said to me, I told him what had happened, and I was like, I just want to be on my own, leave me alone. And he was like, I don't want to leave you alone. And he shared with me that he had gone through a sexual assault as well. And it was crazy, because when it comes to guys, they don't like to talk about it, because they feel like it can affect their manhood a lot, right? And for him to tell me, I felt a little bit like I'm not by myself, even though I wasn't on my own. But when you're sharing stuff like this, and someone shares their pain with you, you just feel a little bit like, okay, we share something together now, we share this. And although I kind of looked at that as like a form of healing, you know, because it's something that we don't really talk about, but we feel it for each other. So that's a way in which you can heal others. It's either you can talk about your own experience, how you deal with it, or you help others deal with their experience. So it's always to do with the 8th house issues in regards to healing others, is help them through their pain. That was a long ass video, but that is my Chiron in the 8th house. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. No one likes their Chiron through the houses, that's just how it is. So please like, subscribe, share, comment, check out my other Chiron videos, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, people.